Hello, my name is Marshal Willick, and this is a instructional video for the MLAW Case Summaries program. We're going to go through the basic search functions and the use of the program for some other things toward the end. You should see on your screen the version of the menu that you would see when you call the program up through the selector. As with the other MLAW programs, this can be accessed by any internet-capable computer, phone, tablet, whatever. So you can use it at your desk, you can use it in the courtroom, anywhere that you might need access to this information. You use the basic selector to select one of the programs. This one is Case Summaries. At its most basic, it's a free-form database where you can search for any text that is in any document that might be in the database. You can also refine your searches so that the search results are within the prior search. That allows you to narrow things down so you don't have to wade through lots of information. For example, if you wanted to know what was actually remanded in the original Vail decision, you could just type in the word Vail. If you did, you would get 128 results. And that's probably more than you were looking for. To narrow it down to the case, you insert a piece of the actual citation, in this case Vail V, because all of them will have that in it. And if you type that in, your search results are down to 48 cases. You probably still don't want to wade through that many things to find. So if you hit this plus button, you can restrict it to say what you remember about it. This was that it was remanded. If you did that, you drop down to 31 results. And if that's still too much, you can either hit this plus again or this plus over here. You get still a smaller search within a search. And remember that what you were looking for was something about estoppel. You're down to 8 results, and that should be possible to simply scroll because some of these are articles. And then here is the 2015 Vail decision in Vail versus Porsball. That should allow you to find what you're looking for. If you wanted to make it even more particular, and all you were looking for was judicial estoppel, you can type in the entire term, and that will take you directly to the original 2002 Vail decision. One of the interesting things about MLAW is that it works automatically as a Shepardizer. To explain what I'm talking about in that regard, if you highlighted, anything can be cut and pasted, used and reused. So if you just highlight and then copy the title, the full citation to the case, and you paste that into the search box, you will find every place that that full citation has appeared. To eliminate any possibility that your search might end up being restricted because of a difference in how people used individual words, you can restrict a citation, you can restrict your search to just the citation. If you do that, you will pick up every citation of the case. In this case, 17 results have cited the original Vail decision, including the Vail case itself and lots of other articles and other references. As an alternative search, if you wanted to look at something, for instance, and you knew that it was in the Nevada revised statute, you're looking for a statute, you can use the selector to choose a specific piece of the database to search. Notice that there's everything. And then there are articles, the bounds of advocacy, lots of cases, lots of CLE articles, all the Court of Appeals on published decisions, the district court rules, the EDCRs, et cetera, et cetera. So you can restrict your search to a specific subset of the database if you wish to. If you knew that something was in a statute and you wanted to search in that, you can, let's suppose you were trying to find the statute that says you can't use settlement negotiations as evidence of liability. You couldn't remember the statutory site. Now you can type in the NRS restricted database the word negotiations. If you just search that, you would find 2 results, which is probably sufficient to be able to look at these 2 and see what you would want. By the way, your version of the program will probably not have the edit and delete buttons. Those are for the editors of the program, as we are constantly inserting additional items into the database. But if you wanted to restrict it to just one item, you type in the word offer and it drops to NRS 48.105. To see it, you do this, you get the summary, which is just the title for a statute, and then you get the full text. Anything in the program can be copied and pasted into any document just by highlighting, hitting Control-C, and then pasting directly into a document. Extremely simple, extremely fast, very easy to use. Let's suppose you wanted to find a case citation. Well, since you've already previously checked NRS, you can uncheck all, so that'll restore you to searching the entire database. Let's suppose you were trying to figure out a citation for when does the community end for determination of community property. I mean, you couldn't remember the name of the case that held that. Well, if you typed in community, you'd end up with 757 results, which is probably too extensive. If you wanted to add the word community property, you would restrict it to still 523, which is still way too many. So if you remember that it was talking about when the community ends, type in that search, you're down to 6 results. And the very first one at the top is the one you're looking for, forest versus forest. If you're not sure that that's the case, you can enter it and take a look at the summary, and it will give you the full summary of the holdings. If you wanted the full text of the decision, you just scroll down below the summary and go to the full text. And if you wish to print or see all of these in a separate window, you can simply hit preview, print full text. Another window will open, and that one will have the text which you can print directly as it appeared originally. Let's suppose you wanted to find a court rule. And the rule you're looking for was the rule that allows you to file a motion for a new trial, but you didn't remember what rule that was. Well, you can easily search. You could search in the entire database or restrict it to the rules of civil procedure if you wanted. But if you just typed in motion, you get over 2,000 results, obviously too many. You wanted a citation about motions and new trials. You do that, you're down to 286, still too many. If you say, look, I just want the rule, I don't want all the discussions of the rules, then you go down to the NRCPs, restrict your search that way, hit the search button, and you're down to 5 results. And they are all titled dismissal of actions, judgment of matter of law, findings and conclusions, etc. What you were looking for, of course, was NRCP 59, new trials, amendment of judgments. But it's a very easy way of restricting the search to just what you're looking for. If you were looking for something in the local rules, it's just as easy. You just restrict your search to the, say, EDCRs for the 8th Judicial District, And you're looking this, let's suppose, for something about vexatious litigants. You type in vexatious litigant. There you go. Find the word vexatious, only appears in one rule, EDCR 7.60. There's a lot of stuff in the program which is not immediately obvious. Again, there's lots and lots of articles, legal notes, the entire contents of the Nevada Family Law Report from the first issue all the way to the current issue. Lots of Nevada lawyer articles, lots of other law review articles, cases that are cited to by the major Nevada cases are also in there, along with every case that's cited in the Nevada Family Practice Manual. You can easily restrict your searches any way you want. And just as an extra filter, you can look just in the summary, or you could look anywhere in the case. And you can switch between searching for things that are there and things that are not there. So if you're always getting a lot of fluff for whatever search you're doing, and you can think of a way of filtering out words that the search that you're looking at doesn't talk about, you can do a negative search that way. There's also a lot of quotations. I've added a lot of the lawyerly quotations that I've been asked to provide over the years in here as well. So if you were looking for, let's suppose all you could remember about a quote was that it had something to do with lawyers and something to do with bridges. Well, you can type in the word lawyers, but that'll give you 338 results. Type in the word bridges, down to 5 results. And you can search that just for that. But if all you wanted was the quotations rather than any other articles that might have those 2 words in them, you could restrict your search to the quotations database. You do that, and your search results will drop to 3. And I should have probably said this earlier, within any given text, if you're here and you're trying to find a particular word, all the normal Windows search functions work. So if you hit Control F, this little box will open at the bottom, and you can search anywhere within the page for any text that would be there. For instance, the word bridges, and you instantly jump to this quotation, which is a good one, about lawyers and how they are useful in having a peaceful society. If that was not the correct quote, you can go to another category, say justice and law, open up the same search, jump down to bridges, and perhaps this was the quote that you were looking for. In any event, it is easy to find. Also in the database are all of the briefs for all of the major decisions in family law in the state of Nevada. So if you're looking for secondary authority or argument relating to one of the major cases, you can find the briefs that went into those cases. And of course, like everything else, all the text is fully searchable, fully copyable, and you can drop it right into anything that you're working on in any other Word or WordPerfect document. So that's the short introduction to how to use the MLAW case summaries. As with all of our programs, if you run into any technical questions, you can call this office at any time, and we will attempt, of course, to assist you and answer any questions you might have. Thank you.